we knew that was going to be a tough challenge for us, and just come out victorious is the world to us, especially doing it on senior night. I know all the seniors are all excited. It's something that we really wanted to get, especially on our home turf.
It's funny, because going into this game, it looked like on paper it was kind of a weird game because it looked sort of meaningless in a way as far as like determining who goes on to the championship game. But judging by your guys' reaction out there, it was anything but that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that we were going to have to compete to the end no matter what, so we knew that was going to be a hard-fought game, and that's what we did. We fought to the end and came out on top.
Why was there so much emotion at the end of this game?
I think especially from where we came from last season, to think about how we ended the season last season and where we are now, for all the seniors at least, it's something that we wanted bad, like for all the seniors and for the entire team really. So that's kind of what brought all the emotions out.
And then you take the milk can over to Nate Mack.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, he's one of those guys that's been here with me for 5 years. So if anybody deserves it, it's him. He plays his butt off every game, practices hard, lifts hard, runs the conditioning hard. So he's just someone that deserves it.
What kind of statement did you make about where this program's at with today's performance?
I think it's a big statement that we made today and all season really, especially when we finished the game, when we finished the season. I think that it's something that we can continue to build on and going ahead for the future. We're going to keep getting better.
You guys held this offense to 17 points today. How did you do it?
Together, really. We take pride in playing together. Everybody's playing physical, making plays, playing or executing, and that's really what it is.
Hey, Robert, you got to play Boise one more time, and unless there's a big change in the computer polls, it's going to be in Boise. Is that fair, or should you guys be hosting the championship game next week?
We're not really paying too much attention to where it's going to be. We just know that we got a game to play, and we're going to compete no matter what.
You've gone to a lot of Bulldog games growing up. What did it mean to you to kind of hear the crowd like that today?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, just like we really feed off the energy that they give. I mean, just the atmosphere that they created for us. I mean, we're just bouncing off each other, bouncing off the fans, bouncing off the offense, the defense, the special teams. So I mean, the Red Wave was definitely part of that win tonight.
We kind of looked at it and said, okay, what does this game really mean? Because you're going to play Boise State again next week. But internally, were you guys thinking, hey, we can make a statement tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we play to win every game, so I mean, we're not going to go out there and hold stuff back or hold plays back. So I mean, we're definitely going out there to play to win every game. So I mean, we're going to Boise next week. So I mean, this one won't mean anything if we don't get the next one. So we're going to be locked in, enjoy it tonight, and get back to work.
That play to Keyshawn seemed like a huge play. The long pass, I think it was in the third quarter there. You guys came out, I think it was a first down throw, with the lead. I mean, tell me kind of why that call was the right call at that time.
I think that's just the offense coordinator, Coach DeBoer, and Coach Teffer just having faith in us and calling a shot, and just me and just the whole offense as a unit. I mean, being able to protect from the snap to protecting to running the right route to if it's not there, me checking the ball down. So I mean, I think it's just comes down from the top down.
What does this say about this team now that you've beaten San Diego State, you've beaten Boise State, you beat Wyoming on the road? I mean, you guys are mentally, you're beating some good teams here.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Shefford says, I mean, we play great teams every week. Boise is a great team. They do a lot of good stuff over there. Statistically, we're about the same team. So, I mean, we definitely are going to respect who we play, but we're not going to put anyone on a pedestal, and we're going to come and play every night.
I'm going to ask that question that Mark asked over there. Is it right that you guys just beat Boise State, but you have to go to Boise to play them next week?
I mean, I'll leave that to you guys to decide and kind of write your articles about. But I mean, we're just kind of controlling what we could control, whether we play here or we play over there. I mean, that's completely out of our control. So I mean, we're going to do what we can, and we're going to learn from the film and get better, and we're going to get ready for next week.
Why did you want to win this for the seniors today?
I mean, I haven't had a senior night since high school. I mean, I just know how important it was for me to be able to just end my high school career on a win and just sending them out the right way. So I know, I mean, Aaron was out there, didn't want to leave the field. So, I mean, it's just that kind of attitude, not wanting to leave the field, just that little expression right there just really shows me how much it meant for these guys to go out on a right note.
Anybody else?
A lot of deep balls in the game plan tonight, Marcus. first of all, do you just enjoy that, letting the guys go deep and uncorking it?
Yeah, I mean, as a quarterback, I mean, I want to throw the ball deep every time. I mean, or throw check downs. I mean, but I mean, yeah, I mean, that's like I said earlier in the interview. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it comes down to the coaches trusting us. Whether if it's not there, me making a right decision, whether that's throwing the ball away or hitting my check down and not being greedy all the time.
You guys have protected a lot of second half leads this season, and sometimes a lot of run game to do that. Today was a little different because it was only a 2-point lead. But when that play call came in, I'm assuming that was a play call to go deep. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, you can ask Aaron every time we get signaled in a deep pass, I have a little smile on my face when I'm giving him the play call. So, I mean, I'm definitely get excited about that kind of stuff. So, I mean, but like I said, it's not just me. It's the offensive line giving me time, the running backs staying in for protection, and the receivers running great routes and making plays.
And then you just mentioned the protection. I mean, could you talk about your protection today and how long you had on some of the throws to throw deep?
Right, yeah. I mean, it was great. I mean, they do a great job of IDing whether they're flipping the protection, checking it to a protection. So, I mean, they do a great job of keeping me upright and being able to be comfortable back there and just go through my throwing motion and keep my eyes downfield and not be wandering on the defensive line.
Marcus, during that fourth quarter, did the energy in the stadium feel different to you than it had previously this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and just in comparison to the beginning of the year, I think the atmosphere that was created is definitely like nothing we've had before this year. So, I mean, definitely we feed off of it, and it's just a great environment overall.
That deep ball to Keyshawn, where would you rank that for you in moments this season?
I don't know. Definitely, I'd probably say just roughly just throw it in my top 5, that's for sure. So, I mean, it's definitely a big play for me and the team, and it's just, yeah, it's a really big play for us.
Marcus, I asked Damari Scott this week if, the rivalry with Boise State was talked about because he was one of the few players to play in that 2014 championship game. He actually said, not so much talked about it, but your previous stop, what a big rivalry game is. I mean, after today, what's that like with Boise State?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely sets a foundation that when Boise comes here or we go there, it's definitely not going to be a gimme. So, I mean, they fought their tails off. I mean, it came down to the wire. We had to make plays when we made plays, and really just proud of all of our skill guys and just really our whole team as a unit playing together.
Tommy Tran, ABC 30. What was it like going up today? A lot was talked about their 2-quarterback system, Cozart and Rippon, and really they had Cozart out there a little bit more than they've had the last few games.
It was kind of a challenge for us to try to adjust to 2 quarterbacks because we used to only just play on 1 quarterback. So it was like, get it together. And then once we found out how to stop each quarterback, that was it.
When Cozart was in there for that touchdown series, did it catch you guys off guard? Because sometimes you'd come in as in an entire drive, an entire series, and that one kind of, as they were going, Rippon, then Cozart?
Nah, it didn't catch us off guard. It was just on us. I mean, we should have, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Jaron, how would you describe kind of the defensive game plan? I mean, because it looked like you guys were giving up some yards, but then you look up at the scoreboard and Boise State really wasn't scoring that much. I mean, how would you describe the game plan?
Stop the run first and then make them one-dimensional.
What has Orlando brought to this unit, and kind of like what gets you excited to play defense under him?
His energy. He comes out with a great attitude every single day. He pushes us to be the best DB in the country. He pushes us to communicate the most, so he just brings great energy and a good vibe to the team every practice, every game.
Take me inside your head and kind of what you're thinking when you're hearing that crowd start to kind of swell like that with Fresno State and you guys are making plays.
I was like, oh, the Valley is back. It's back. Standing behind a big crowd like that is amazing. It's a wonderful feeling to have the crowd behind us 24/7.
And why was it important for you guys to kind of take that trophy and give it to one of your seniors over there, Nate?
Because they didn't put in through 4 years. I mean, Nate is a 5th year, so it was a blessed feeling to give him the trophy. I mean, no, he went down, so we had to win it for Nate.
Do you think this is going to kind of intensify the rivalry a little bit, especially since you're going there next week?
No doubt. No doubt.
Aaron, look at that milk can. What's it mean when you're staring at it?
It means victory. Bottom line, it's victory. 3 for 3 on trophies, and it's just a great way to leave a legacy for this team.
I saw you on the sideline there kind of in the fourth quarter after Keyshawn scored. And I mean, you were kind of helping the crowd go back and forth with the Fresno State. I mean, can you kind of describe what was going through your mind right then?
I think it's been 2 years since I've heard it that loud. I think it's been a long time coming. I can't thank the Red Wave enough for, showing out today, and I don't think they understand how much they really play a factor in this. Their energy, players vibe off that, and it really brings a sense of pride to play for the Valley. It was awesome. It was just a great feeling. Just get into it, and I'd like to thank the Red Wave for coming out and showing out today, and making this day a special day for all of us.
How much pride do you take in that when you think about where this program was and kind of what you've been through as a player?
It's immense pride. Coach Tefford brought back that saying up there, the pride and tradition of Bulldog football cannot be entrusted to the team of the week, and this team has bought into that. No doubt about it. We say it out there on the field. We say it walking out. We say it after a win. We say it after a loss. It's just a lot of pride at this program. We have coaches that have played in this uniform, and they came back and entrusted that in us. It's really an honor to play here at Fresno State. It's an honor to play O-line here. O-linemen take great pride in playing here. And I think as an offensive lineman, we've had O-linemen come back and talk about, Fresno State O-linemen are special kind. And, I take great honor in that, and I know that the other four do, and then the people coming up, it's just an honor to be a Bulldog. It's an honor to play here.
What's going to be your message to the guys as a leader, kind of regrouping from this and getting ready for next week in a game that likely will be on the road?
It's just another game. Time to go back to the work. Enjoy the day. But, it's just like another work day. It doesn't matter who we play. Boise's a great team, and we're going to have to prepare for it again. And I'm looking forward to it. Back to work tomorrow, back to the chalkboard, drawing it up, and grab your lunch bell and get ready for work.
Aaron, Marcus was saying you didn't want to leave the field. What were you feeling out there?
A lot of things. I got a big family. A lot of family came here. You really have to feel the lowest of low to understand the high of the high. I've said that multiple times. It was a great feeling. I looked up, saw my mom and my dad in the stands, and it's just a great feeling. It was more than I've asked for as my time here as a Bulldog. I'm grateful.
Yeah, one more for me. Aaron, last time we spoke was after the UNLV loss at practice, and you guys have not suffered defeat since then. What did you, again, when we talked about what you guys learned and what's been the most consistent thing during this run for you guys right now?
I think that, loss, it really brought us back together as a team. Not saying we weren't a team in the beginning, but, I think it brought back that chip on our shoulder. It really made us realize, man, you don't get a lot of opportunities. You have 12 games in a season. You pray you get a 11th or a 13th, and you hope you get a 14th. But you have 12 guaranteed games, and you can't take any of them for a loss. A loss is a loss, and we took that in stride, and it brought us back together, and it brought us back to work. Like I said earlier, you just got to tell a guy, blue collar team, grab your lunch bell and go to work. Clock in. It's time to go to work.
Aaron, who's been with you with the lowest lows, highest highs?
The offensive line's been together with me. There's been a lot of guys on this team. Even when I was a sophomore, there was a lot of guys that were here on this team. Last year, there was a ton of guys here. It's almost the same team with a couple great additions. Some new running backs, a new quarterback who's playing his ass off. But even if they weren't here, as a leader, you can express what it's like, and show the joy that you can't take any win. You can't take any win. Now, every win has to be joyous. Whether it's by a point or it's by 20. Don't take it for granted. It's tough, hard wins to win in Division I football, and don't ever take them for granted because you never know when you're going to get another one. So I look forward to next week, and I look forward to getting back to work.
Okay. Well, Coach, just kind of describe what you're feeling. I imagine you're really proud of these players.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Especially on senior day, to send the seniors up the ramp with a victory is great. It's another game, and we have one more to go. And so, but can't tell you how happy I am for and gratified to see all the hard work pay off for these guys and for this coaching staff who has put so much into it. That's a great football team. Boise State has a great football team, and we have a lot of respect for them. And now we get to do it one more time. So a lot of hard work going into this week coming up. But for tonight, we can enjoy this. Our guys can feel good about themselves, and especially the seniors. It's a great honor for them to leave the stadium today with a victory.
Kind of seems like you followed the recent blueprint where you made some big plays offensively. You were clean, no turnovers, I believe, and defensively, I mean, you got some stops when you needed it. It was kind of the blueprint, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were no turnovers on either side for them or us, and it was a really clean game, hard-fought game. Some big plays in there. Our defense stepped up on a couple short yard situations, did a really nice job. And, we made some big plays in the passing game, which was great. And so it was just a hard-fought game. Could have went either way, and I'm sure it's going to be the same next week.
You've been telling us, like during your Monday press conferences, about what this stadium can be like. You've experienced it yourself as a player and as a coach. Did it kind of feel like that today?
That was much more like it, yeah. Yeah, it was the first time I heard the Fresno State chant, and the stadium was really rocking, and saw the wave get going in there, and thought, that's awesome, And so I want to thank all the fans for coming out and sending these guys off the right way. Appreciate their support out there, and it makes a big difference. It really does for our players, for the other team coming in here. Makes it a hostile environment. So I really appreciate our fans for coming out and creating that environment today.
Finally, for me, what's the message going to be, heading into next week when you play the same team again?
Same message as it is every single week. It's one day at a time. It's, we have our banquet tomorrow. We'll watch the film tomorrow and try to get some mistakes cleaned up, have our banquet, and then be right back at it. It's one day at a time, like we always talk about. It really doesn't matter. It never changes really what our approach is. And, but we know this one's for the conference championship, but we will prepare the same way that we prepare for any game. And, the kids know that. They will know what to expect next week. Got to get healthy for sure. That was a physical football game right there. And so got to get healthy and get prepared.
Coach, you can't really lobby a computer program, but are you planning on lobbying any of the members of the football committee to, rank the Bulldogs in the top 25 and get the Mountain West Championship game in Fresno next Saturday?
No, I don't. I'm not a lobbyer. I don't know how to lobby. It's, it kind of is what it is. I think it's gonna be made tonight or tomorrow or whatever, and I'm not, so no, I'm not. It's out of our hands. We've done, what we can do, and it is what it is. So, we'll take it, and we go there. That's fine. That's what we expected anyway. So we didn't even go into this game thinking if we win this game we can keep home field advantage. We never even talked about that because, we knew from the beginning that it was a real long shot. So, I don't even know what goes into all that. I really don't. We'll play wherever they tell us to play, and if it's there, it's there. So we'll just get ready to go play.
Were you at all involved in the play call on the long touchdown to Keyshawn on the first play of the drive after Boise scored? And even if you were, you weren't. The thinking to go for the jugular, to go for a deep ball right there?
Well, we had one on the right hash and one on the left. We tried to stay aggressive, and when Kalen said he was going to call that, I said that's great, and he just popped open, and it was an excellent throw, so we had a couple big plays dialed up right there that we were going to try to execute, and thankfully Keyshawn, it was a great throw, great protection. He caught it and outran people. So, but that was big, at that time of the game to give us a little bit of space because, again, it was going back and forth. They're a tough offense to stop. They have a lot of weapons, and but we made some big plays in the passing game today that really helped us.
What do you think your short yardage defense? You made a couple key stops on short yardage against them today. Was that just you guys in the right place at the right time? Great calls on those plays?
They play hard, and of course, whatever the defense called is, the guys they execute it. But what those things typically come down to is execution, and either beating your man or shooting a gap or doing something and playing fast, and not just laying back. In those situations, you have to be very aggressive, and our guys did. And I got to watch the tape to see exactly what happened, but those are big plays, especially the one on fourth down.
You have over here, what does 9 for 16 on third down do for you guys over the next 2 games, the third down conversion and the rate for you guys on offense?
Well, 9 for 16 is pretty good. We haven't been great on third down, but there's a lot of times where games have been dictated by what we do on third down, as we're running out the clock or whatever. 9 for 16 is a good percentage. We'll continue to work on it. Next week's a new week. We got stuck in a lot of third and longs, early in the game. They were in a lot of third and shorts, and we were in a lot of third and longs early in the game. And that's what happens when you're aggressive on first and second down. You're throwing the ball down the field. Sometimes you're going to get stuck in those long yard situations. But I thought we did a good job at the very end there of running the football. Too bad we got a holding call in the last one because that was a nice run by Ronnie. But, we got to continue to work at it. Third down's a critical thing, obviously.
I just wanted to ask you, I forgot to ask you, what's the update on Nate's injury, and then when they took the milk can to him afterwards, the seniors who grabbed the milk can, when you hear about it, I don't know if you saw it, but what does that say about this team?
Well, they love their teammates. Last night we were sitting right in here, and all the seniors got a chance to say a few words to their teammates. And really this was about the seniors. And tomorrow's banquet will be about the seniors and the rest of this team. I don't know exactly what, I'm sure he'll get an MRI and find out the extent of the injury. But it's always emotional when you play your last game. All he could say when he was out on the field out there hurting was, I want to be in here, I want to be in here. And that just shows a commitment that he wants to be out there for his teammates and be a part of it. And he's been a major part of it, through the whole thing. And I go back all the way to January when we got here as far as the leadership and guys who have bought into things. Nate's been one of those guys. And so, it was heartbreaking to see him laying on the field in his last game in this stadium. I hope everything is fine with him once the MRI happens. But, he's been great for this football team.